It's round 1 time, and this is a pretty good hand. We don't have a 2-drop, but we're on the play, so it doesn't matter quite as much. And we have Blood Mad Vampire into Stitch Mangler, so let's do this. We're against Xenagon, which is... I don't know if that's meant to be like Xenagos, or a shape with alien sides or something. Anyway, hopefully their name does not reflect an ability to block a large number of Blood Mad Vampires, because that's what they're going to have to do. This card is really snowbally. I always get frustrated when I play against it because of how difficult it is to effectively counter. You know, if they play a Stensia Masquerade or just, you know, a sleep paralysis on your creature or something, really hard to come back if your hand is a bit rubbish. Also, I'm quite glad we picked that dual shot, because we have a lot of X1s, especially these. But we've got the two Furtive Homunculi and the Daring Sleuth as well. So, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about that too much. Our opponent is either having some internet troubles, is away from their keyboard, or has a really tough hand. Let's say good luck and see if they respond. So it would be quite nice to draw a 2-drop. I think if we draw a 2-drop, this hand gets really, really good, as opposed to pretty fine where it is now. I mean, on the draw, this would not be very exciting. On the play, I think there's a reasonable chance that our opponent doesn't do much for a while. So if they don't have a 2-drop, or a 3-drop, and we get them with the Mangler, we're pretty good. As in, if they miss one of either their second or third creature drop opportunity. Wow, for once, I'm not too afraid about the clock here. I tend to be the person who takes forever to F2 and think about my plays. I once drafted a phenomenal looking, I think it was Fate Khans deck online. It had double Trail of Mystery in it, and it was 5-color morphs with something like 8 morphs, 2 Trails of Mystery. It was amazing. The main enemy was the fact that I could never F6 through my opponent's turn, which means you automatically pass priority for everything they do, which speeds up a lot of time on your clock, not clicking OK and stuff. Oh, that's scary. Because I had to keep holding up my morphs, and that just slowed me down so much. Oh, we got a 2-drop, and it's our best 2-drop. Let's be scary. Bloodseeker, go! That's a pretty nice draw. In fact, we get to attack, and then discard a Blood Mad Vampire either in their end step or during combat. I'm not sure whether we should... I'm not sure which of those we should go for. Moorland Drifter. Okay, so they're reasonably likely to block here. Possibly even double block. So I'm not sure we have a great attack. I mean, we can trade the Bloodseeker for the Drifter, but that's not very exciting. I would like to pass and hope they attack me. At which point we can get them with the Blood Mad. I think that's probably the best play. I think mangling this doesn't do anything. So let's pass and hope they swing into me. Yeah. So what I want my opponent to do here is attack with everything. I declare no blocks. Then they crack the clue and pass. Or just play nothing intending to crack the clue and pass. That would be great. Come on. Aww. Spoil sport. That's very sad. Very sad. Well, I guess I'm doing this. Let's discard him vampire. F2 to this. Ooh, that's a good draw. So we have the ability to tap down this and get in and trade the vampire for the drifter. I don't know if that's worth doing because our opponent's off land, so they might not hit this for a turn or two. I think if we play the Prophet, we can go next turn Mangler plus another Bloodmad Vampire, which is quite mana efficient. It also lets us rummage away this island if we really want to, but that might mean we can't it doesn't mean we can't reliably play these two next turn. I think if the opponent ends up making spirits, I will discard this land because playing a second Bloodmad Vampire won't achieve much. So what I do with this probably hinges on whether they draw a land. You know, maybe I should have attacked with this first. No, the opponent probably just blocks with a Thraben Inspector. Oh, at that point that's good for us because we do make that trade, discard this. Next turn, if they don't draw land, we get to eat the Drifter. Yeah. Well, never mind. I think we have no attacks here. Sad times. So I think I will be discarding the island in order to look for dual shot. It's going to be quite difficult for us to break through this. Or Dauntless Cathar. That seems like a reasonable thing to cast Stitch Mangler on. I guess at this point we're not discarding this island. Just passing. Might be discarding that one though. No, let's play this and... What am I tapping down here? Almost certainly this Cathar. Yeah. Don't want the opponent to get spirit value, basically. I will attack with the Bloodseeker and trade it for the Inspector if I have to. Although, no, there's not much point in doing that anymore, is it? Because the opponent can just crack this next turn to make a bunch of 1/1s. So it's not really worth trading for this. I guess we can attack, see what the opponent does, and let it bounce. But playing this and drawing a card seems better than not doing that. Sure. Come on, dual shot. If nothing else, this is pretty nice. We get to play another creature and draw a card. Even if it only trades for a spirit, that's still value. Our opponent does have a lot of cards in hand and a clue, though. Given that they've not drawn very many lands. This is where I really wish we had that Stanzia Masquerade. It would be really nice in this board state. Maybe I should have picked it. Ooh. Oh, that's good, actually. But this is better. Ooh. That gives us a lot of nice options. So I think we can start by casting this, and we can use the Senseless Rage at instant speed. We can always just discard an extraneous land with the Power of the Pages. And keep this Senseless Rage up as a trick, which allows us to attack with probably the Mangler and the Bloodseeker. I don't know if it's worth attacking with these just yet. It might be. But we're forced to use a Senseless Rage on a Spirit, which is not very useful. Whereas getting it with this guy, our opponent might make a double block and we get to get some value. And the same with the Bloodseeker. So I think let's start with that. That was a pretty good top deck, I think. Whoa! Okay. we got some land. I'm quite glad not to be top decking those. I don't know if we want to hold up the extra red. It's probably more valuable at this point than having a 5th blue source. What can we hit this 1 mana? We can hit just the wind, which doesn't help because we can't. Oh, we can discard it to this. Yeah, let's play the untapped land. Because we can draw just the wind off of Mad Prophet, basically. So I think now we attack with these. And we use Senseless Rage for a combat trick, which might help us start grinding through this very saddening board state. But I think the vampires are going to stay back on defense. Rawr! Of course, probably what actually happens here is the opponent just takes 3. Nothing happens. Is it worth raging the Inspector away? It might be. What could they have up? Survive the night. Doesn't help. It probably is worth getting rid of this, to be honest. It's another obstacle in the way of us winning the game, so I think we're going to do this. It's like a bit aggressive, but I feel like our opponent is going to have the inevitability, so we might as well start dealing damage. So I'm going to do this in case we draw just the wind. Come on, reward. Okay. More land. Okay. Well, again, good job we weren't top decking those for 4 turns, because that would be GG pretty much. And this is now a great attacker. It's pretty annoying to deal with. So I think we're done. Ooh. No Vessel of Ephemera. Maybe we attack with everything now. The Cathar is still a problem. That's not bad. When I say attack with everything, what I mean is discard a land, hope to draw a Stitch Mangler, then attack with everything. Yeah, that'd be good. If we get one of our many tappers or anti-blocking effects, Nagging Thoughts. Do I discard that? Or do I wait to get value off of it? Or do I just cast it now? It's very interesting. Our opponent is sad about mana. That's understandable, although I think they're doing pretty well. Let's see. So this is going in. Probably these to just trade up the board. Mangler probably goes in. Is that it? That's not a great attack. We trade a bunch of our good creatures for a bunch of our opponent's kind of mediocre creatures. Which I'm not a huge fan of. I guess we do get to then play a Stormrider Spirit in their end step, but maybe that's just better. I think either way I'm playing this land, but not this one. I don't ever need this one. Actually, this is a sorcery, so we might want to discard it at instant speed to dig for something, and still play this. I don't know if that's at all relevant. I'm probably overthinking this. Let's attack. Bashing with this. Do we just want to make it so that our opponent takes a bit of damage? I think so. Clearing the way seems good. They're stuck on land, so let's just attack with everything. We are representing tricks, so our opponent doesn't really have the luxury of playing around them, so I imagine they're just going block, trade here. Which is not the worst thing ever. We have gone up on cards. Like we only have 2 fewer cards in hand than they do. That's an interesting. So they're just chumping that, letting the Stitch Mangler through. That is all fine by me. I guess it means we can't use this discard this turn, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, damage resolves. Yeah, this is good. We get to keep our Stitch Mangler here. They have a pump spell. Let's see. So I think we obviously discard Nagging Thoughts now. Put that out there. Daring Sleuth and Mountain. Well, I guess we'll click it out to put it into hand. Take a Daring Sleuth. So that's not very exciting. It's just a trade. But it is a 2-for-1 in a sense, given that we got the Senseless Rage for free. So that's that done. So do I play this, or do I play Island Stormrider Spirit? Probably the Flyer. Flyers are great. Especially as it gets through Vessel of Ephemera. And this is useless against the Vessel anyway, because we don't have any tokens, clue tokens, so yep, go for it. Our opponent's still off land. Tormenting Voice. Ah, that's not bad. Discarding Drogskull Cavalry. Oh wow. That's terrifying. Oh, they got a land. And they forgot to flashback Dauntless Cathar. Alright. So this might be an attack with Mad Prophet sort of turn. I'm not sure there's anything in the format that can punish us. Actually, even if there is, we can just bounce it. Yeah, and then we can use the Prophet to use Just the Wind next turn. So I think we just get in for 7 now. Go! Beats. Run this guy out there as well, I think. So we have lethal on board now, which is good. And Adjust the Wind for our opponent's blocker. But they can play the Vessel. So I don't think they're... Oh, that leaves them dead on board. Unless they have... Dual Shot? So I think we're just hard casting this and bouncing the creature. It's not a big deal as far as card advantage goes. Oh no! Oh, so sad. Do I play this pre-combat in case our opponent has anything? On that off chance. No. Let's just attack. Flunge. Awesome. Alright. We have 12 minutes to win game 2, which is not too bad. So, what do we want against what they're doing? We definitely still want this. Against the ever-irritating Vessel. We probably don't want the black cards. We don't necessarily want this. This isn't going to be good because a lot of their creatures are quite small. Do we sideboard out any X1s? I'm not sure we can afford to. I would like to sideboard out X1s in the face of the Vessel, but it didn't hold us back too much in that game. Because our opponent didn't get to use it. They have a Drogskull Cavalry. I assume their deck is not actually that low curve. They certainly had plenty of stuff to do. They never stopped playing cards, but with stuff like Inquisitor's Ox, I don't think bringing this in as a bomb is going to help. I think we're probably best off where we are and just hope to keep up the pressure with the Stitch Manglers, and then our looters and draw spells digging us into increased gas. It's a pretty reasonable plan. Yeah, our sideboard's really not great, is it? A lot of black cards. I don't know if this is worth having. Probably not. They were quite able to play cheap creatures that would hold it back. And packing in for 1 a few times is not the world's most thrilling way to play Magic, so let's do this. On the draw. That is sketchy. Not exactly aggressive. With the Reckless Scholar, we can turn lands into real cards, so there is a definite temptation to keep. I mean, this is one of our best cards in terms of getting card advantage, but it would be really nice if we had some sort of curve here. I don't know if is this hand better than an average 6? Like with any 3-drop other than Reckless Scholar, I think it would be worse. Our opponent didn't really show us any removal. They may well have had some, though. It might just be more expensive. I don't know if like early aggression is necessarily that good against them. They clearly have a decent defensive speed, so maybe we just need to be building up to big turns. And the flyer is probably quite good, so maybe this is actually a fine hand. It's risky, but let's try it. Explosive app. Ah, well, that makes this guy sad. Let's see if we draw something to absorb the. Of course. It's gonna be one of those like keep a 5-lander, draw 4 more lands in a row before finding non-land cards, isn't it? Nagging Thoughts. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's just use that to dig for something now. Hopefully a play that will absorb this. Oh, I don't really want to get that killed either. That's interesting. So I assume that they're going to use this. Paranoid Parish Blade. That cannot block Uninvited Geist. I mean, either way they're going to kill whatever it is we run out. Like, that's good tempo for them. I mean, maybe the Geist is actually less valuable than the Scholar, given that our hand is full of lands. I mean, the Scholar is the reason I kept this hand at all, so possibly I do just let the Geist get killed. At least it trades for their turn, essentially, in terms of time. We still take 3, but they won't be playing anything else, I imagine. I guess unless they draw Thraben Inspector. Where were you earlier? Alright, let's play the Scholar. Tap land. Go. Please don't kill it. Town Gossipmonger. Wow. Scary. That's also pretty scary in context. I mean, our opponent can't hit Delirium this turn, but we might very soon be taking 5 with first strike. How much does that cost to equip? It is only 1. Interesting. Weird. Okay. So I think we are playing land. There's no point in playing this to ambush the Parish Blade. It can ambush this. But not yet. Do I just run out both of these? Or even just one of them? Do I even run out this and attack? If our opponent blocks, that's pretty good. We get to trade with this. If not, we pack them and probably just play the Homunculus to hold off the Parish Blade, potentially. Our opponent really messed up by not equipping, because next thing they could fetch the Warped Landscape and be in with a reasonable shot of enabling Delirium. At least a shot. Yeah, let's play the Wolf and attack with it. Let's get this guy out. If our opponent has a trick to get the Parish Blade through it, I am quite happy to trade my Homunculus for a trick. If we get really lucky, we can... Okay, that's fine. It is a 3-3, I guess. Which also allows them to tap the Gossipmonger. This is quite vulnerable to bounce. I feel like this gets a lot better for us if we draw just the Wind at some point. Any point. Because we're going to get the... we're going to get some pretty nice tempo swings off of it. Do I want a 6th land? Probably. Oh, nice. All the looting. All the looting. Well, while our opponent's doing nothing and being sad about Mana Screw, maybe I'll jam this. Because we can leave up 2 lands for this, which we'll trade with the Gossipmonger, or whatever comes in. Do we want to leave up the lake as well? Maybe I play this land first. Then we have 3 mana up. I don't know if that really helps anything. Oh, it doesn't matter, we can untap this anyway. We got just the Wind! Woo! Okay, so untap this and whatever. Do I discard this? I don't need to. I can discard it to Reckless Scholar. Maybe I discard the Tormenting Voice because we don't need it anywhere near as much with all these looters lying around. Then again, maybe I just discard the land. And then play Island, hold up, pump on this, plus just the Wind. And we still have Tormenting Voice for further value later if we need it. Like, we're not getting through anytime soon, so drawing a bunch of cards is actually not useless. Just pass now. This will have a decent attack next turn, but right now it can't do much. No flipping the Gossip Monger. Is that deliberate? Maybe they're hoping to block this. It's an Ox. Sure, have an Ox. Do we bounce the Ox? I feel like we should keep this for combat blowouts. Maybe we should start attacking with the Wolf. I mean, it will just trade with something, but that's sort of okay. We do have to win reasonably quickly. Yeah, I'll just discard that. We don't need it. Dual shot. Does not a lot. So I think I'm going to start by attacking with this. Hopefully our opponent just lets it. Maybe I just pass. I think I'm going to pass and hold up Storm Rider Spirit plus this, because it's more important to cast the Storm Rider Spirit than threaten some damage with that. The Spirit is much more reliable. Our opponent currently doesn't have a way to deal with it. Need this guy back as well, because I really want to spend mana on the Storm Rider Spirit this turn. I don't want to have to spend it on getting the Homunculus through. A 5/4, that's terrifying. We can hold it back with this, I guess. Or just bounce it now. I don't know if that's worth doing or not. I want to keep this in hand for the Vessel of Ephemera. Do I want this land? I don't need this land. No, 7 mana is still not really worth it. So I can play Tormenting Voice, discarding Just the Wind, and draw more cards. I don't really want to deck myself, but yeah, I feel like I want to keep Just the Wind for shenanigans. Our opponent does have combat tricks. I want to run out the Prophet, but that does open me up to a big swing from the opponent. So I guess I just won't bother. Oh yeah, it does that, doesn't it? That's fine. But I guess we're now priced into bouncing it, which is also fine. That's scary. Ooh. We have to deal with something. I think we have to double block the Ravagers now. Our opponent can just do this again next turn. That's really not good for us. So I think we are double blocking this. This has not gone anywhere near as well as the first one did. So pump the Wolf, make the trade. Probably is worth bouncing this. Not sure we can win this round, because I don't feel like we're going to win this game. And we're certainly not going to have time to win the next game, which is a bit sad. What's your guy? How do we deal with this? How do we just not die? It's a difficult question. I want to put Senseless Rage on the spirit, but I don't think that works. I think it might be time to cast this Tormenting Voice, because it's cheaper than the Prophet. Duelist and Mangler. Okay, those are good. The Duelist doesn't really do anything here. I guess neither of them do. Oh, I guess they're defensive plays, if nothing else. So, holding up Senseless Rage, I can play Stitched Mangler, tapping down, let's say, Big Ox. Yeah, that's reasonable. Starting with this, pass the turn. Should I have dual shotted that? Probably. I completely forgot about that. Whoops. So this has to attack. I don't think it's worth blocking and pumping the Scholar with Senseless Rage. We can take this. Really awkward that we can't get rid of his Abyssinian missionaries, though. We do have a good attack with the Mangler next turn. Because of the Senseless Rage. You know what we could have done is bounce this. That would have been much more sensible. I think I'm discarding Mad Prophet. Deck myself at this point. 5-4. Okay. So if I press this for answers, or just trades, I can Voldar and Duelist, swing in, and Senseless Rage on blocks. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. So let's say the I think I want to press the Inquisitors because I don't want to lose the race. So let's say the Parish Blade cannot block, and then you can't do a lot. Play this land, go to attacks. I mean, this is great value, but it's not achieving all that much. I might be able to kill myself by decking before my opponent kills me, although at this point I feel it's relatively unlikely. For once I do get to f6 in my opponent's turn, and we do have another press for answers. I don't know if that helps very much, but we have one. There's what's in the rest of the deck? There's another Voldaren Duelist. Oh wow. Are we dead? Opponent is not attacking. I guess we're dead next turn anyway. I don't know if there's much point in scooping, because maybe there is. Duelist. So we can say this can't block. Maybe this. We tap something. We're almost there. Let's sack this clue. We might not have the mana to do everything we need. That's not helpful either. So we do This can't attack or block. I think we have to press something that isn't... I mean, we're just dead on the swing back. I'm just trying to figure out if we have lethal somehow. I mean, we can make our opponent block some stuff, I guess. Which is not terrible. If we attack with a Scholar, they have to block 2 things. No, they can get away with just blocking one of the duelists. Or chumping this. I'm not dead either way. I really wish this deck had a Fiery Temper in it. Let's get this out there. So, you can't block. Neither can you. Probably should press the other round, I don't think it matters. And then we swing with the team and die, I guess? Maybe around 13. We can actually chump this with the Scholar, so I don't know if that helps though. Just the Wind is gone. This forces a block. Of what use it is, I'm not sure. They have a thing. That makes me very sad. You have no right to have things. Fine. Oh, I should have played this land before casting my stuff so I could have held up the dual shot actually. Because it now is relevant. Our opponent at least is top decking. Jump there, jump there. That's pretty reasonable. So they take nothing. Yep. That happens. Well, that's what I got. We're not dead on board. We don't even have to chomp, which is nice. They drew a land as well. Which means they're not keen on attacking, which is quite good. Oh, I ran out of time. Whoops. Well, I'll try and play a bit faster next time. Yieldy clock. Could we have won that game? If we draw Stitched Mangler, plus... we have to have some other piece of interaction. What could we have drawn? I'm trying to remember what's in the deck off the top of my head. That was pretty brutal. I'm going to pause the video here just to break up the recording nicely, so I will see you guys very shortly in round 2.